We warmly welcome our guest on another enriching session of our mental health series, Miss Kavya, a dedicated psychologist, life skills trainer, and career counselor based in Chennai. With a strong academic foundation in psychology and specialized training in cognitive behavior therapy, Ms. Kavya brings a wealth of experience in individual and group counseling, career guidance, and life skills development. Her professional journey includes working with students, professionals, NGOs, and corporates, where she has conducted impactful sessions on self awareness, stress management, communication, and emotional well being. We welcome you, ma'am, today on our show. Over to Deepti.
Thank you, Rupali, and welcome once again, Kavya, in our mental health series today. So, without further ado, let's dive into the conversation. And we would like to ask from you what exactly is EAP and how does it support people in different fields or workplaces?
So, first and foremost, I would like to thank you, Deepthi and Rupali, for hosting me on this wonderful event. Okay. So, as you asked, many of people or the counselors, even they doesn't know what exactly the EAP means. EAP means that Employee Assistance Program. So, counseling. Actually, it is for the counseling for the corporates or the employee people who are employed. So it is a short term therapy where the company will be giving. Okay. So exactly to say that this company, one company will be tied up with the other EAP companies. Okay, who will provide the assistance or who will provide the counseling. It is not only the counseling usually when we say that EAP. So along with that, there will be a psychological counseling, there will be a physical doctors, and there will be related to the financial advisory. So all these things like is a holistic approach when we say that employee assistance programming. So many of the companies are providing to the corporates or to the employees of the larger sectors. Usually, they will choose a larger populations or larger fields rather than having a 10, 20, or 30 employees. Usually, they choose for the bigger people. So, usually, it is like they will be having a contract of 1 or 2 years, and based on that, they will be providing a short term therapy. Okay, so in this, how it works means the first, it is like they will be having a 24 bar 7 services. So anytime the employee can call any what is that without having any stations, and they can able to share all their struggles, what the problems with the company who are been providing the EAP, and the confidentiality will be maintained for 100%. So here we have to understand that the EAP company will not work for the company, who means that who they have been tied up. They will work only for the people who are there. So hence the confidentiality will be maintained for sure.
Great. So, thank you for explaining EAP. Of course, the counselors have information about this, but the way your answer brought us, like how crucial emotional support in workplaces truly important is. And it's an eye opening to realize the extent to which EAP can enhance productivity and mental well being across the industries. Thank you.
It is not only related to the always the what I can say that mental health also. So even for the day-to-day struggles, even for the what to say the for parenting, even they will give even for their parents, okay, their spouse, their children. So it is for the whole family they can able to take the programs.
Great.
So it will be a short term. It is not a very long term also. So it will be a very short. It is a short term therapy. So where the number of sessions will be fixed for them. So if there is needed, it can be extended or cannot be extended. So they can able to come for any problems. There is no rule for that for this problem. Only the mental health only they should come. So they can come for the even for venting out or even for just a emotional support, even for just to understand that to have a guidance. so they can use it any form.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for that explanation. In today's competitive world, students face a lot of pressure about their careers. Do you believe career counseling has now become an essential for every child?
Yes, because as you said that the children's, it is becoming a very competitive compared to the before, because they are learning a lot. So it is like why they are learning here means the parents has been tuned like that, because they have been seeing what other kids are doing. So as a parent, as every parents want their child to be successful. No parents wants their child to have a difficult times at all. So hence keeping that in mind, to have that successful in their life, so that they should not have any financial struggles in later stage, or they should not have any other struggles. They have been directly or indirectly have been the career options, the choosing the career, the pressure, the stress, everything is there. Along with that, they are seeing the peers as well, right? And this career counseling, why because here means that the mindset, the previous, according to the survey, it has been very evident that, or predominant, we can say that only the career seven career options has been chosen, where they are having the 400 plus career options. Yes, there are 400 plus career options, but they have been choosing only the top 7 mostly. So their career options, what about that? So there are a lot of unemployment. If everyone is going to the same, how many jobs can be produced? Right? And there is no education about the people that arts, humanities, and social sciences have the most career options than the science and engineering. Still, they're having a taboo, right? Okay, if the student is getting more than 90, let them take the science. Whether they like it or don't like it, they never bother. So they will take a science or do engineering. They will say that, "Pehla beta, engineering kar lo, baad mein you do whatever you want." So that 5 years or 4 years has been wasted. And there are many engineers, to be frank, they are not doing the coding. They are not doing what they have studied. They are doing something else. If they have studied in the same which they really liked, just imagine how much they could have thrived. There will be a gap. If they're studying something and working something, obviously there will be a gap. They have to struggle, right, in order to fulfill that gap. So this career counseling helps to fulfill that gap, to choose the right career options, and to educate them about the various career options as well.
That was so insightful, ma'am. Your response, I think, has really hit many home. In today's high pressure academic environment, your insightful explanation emphasized just how essential career counseling has become. I completely agree.
Thank
So,
you.
ma'am, we have also heard that you are a life skills trainer, also, right? So,
Yes.
how does life skills training contribute to a person's emotional well being and overall personal growth?
Life skills is not only for um, the job or anything. As the name indicates, life skill is for the life. So when you are going for a company, or when you are going for a school, whatever it is, so we are not being with the, as we are not working as an individual contributor. So we are being with the people always around. So when you are going for a company, let's take. So as the person is having the experience, they will go in the higher levels. So when they go in the higher levels, obviously they have to manage the people, right? So they will be having a team, they will be a team leaders and then the managers. So when they become a team leaders and managers, obviously they have to handle the team, and they should able to delegate the task properly. Many people struggle to delegate the task because they don't know what exactly the leadership means. Sometimes they will be very bossy. Sometimes they will go into a what exactly to say here means they will go into the submissive mode as well, without understanding what the leadership is. So making them the difference between the bossiness and the submissive, and being the what we can say that without delegating the task properly, taking the work all by themselves. So everything will be educated through the life skills. And in the office, it's not only there. In the office or school, there will be a bully, right? They should know how to handle it. So the bullying has made a lot and lot of people to shatter their self-confidence. It has hit them very hard. So which has happened in the school. So they still carry it in even in their workplace as well, without their knowledge. So it has been subconsciously, it has given marked a very strong review.
Okay.
And mainly the communication about the assertive communication, passive communication, aggressive communication. So how they have to speak in what place, and business communication. So they should understand about the way the presenting skills. And not only that, when it comes to the home, how they can talk with the children, how they can talk with the spouse, how they can be with the parents, and how they can be for themselves. So it is for life. It is not, it is all over development of themselves. So that they may not be knowing about themselves most of the time. So this will help them to know about themselves and to act accordingly, because we live in a social environment, right? So we have to be no matter what it is, you can't be an introvert and you can't escape from the society. So we
Totally.
have to live accordingly.
Thank you. Thank you. What a beautifully articulated answer about this topic, and the way you connected life skills to emotional health and long term growth, and in even overall phases of life was incredibly empowering. Thank you.
So, ma'am, as per your experience, how helpful or important is psychometric testing for guiding students in making their career decisions?
This is a very crucial question, Rupali, because when we say psychometric, psycho means mind, metric is measure. So we are going to measure the mind. So in a psychometric assessment, usually we understand the deep traits of a person. So by understanding, just by asking 4 or 5 questions, I couldn't able to understand one person to the whole. So when it comes to the career, it is not for one time. So it is a process, right? So it will start from the engage, from the what education we choose, what subject we choose, and from that what UG we choose, and from that what job we choose. So everything, it is a process. This psychometric assessment, when we say that, it doesn't only work on the passion. So the passion means that it is more than the passion. So it will help the person to analyze the deeper personality traits, interest, and also the skills. So these 3 are the very crucial points when it comes to the career. So for example, if you have the skills, so but you don't have the interest, or you don't have the personality, you can't able to survive. I will give you one very good example of a person who came for the career counseling from the IIT background. So not IIM. Okay. So he has completed from IIM. So he has did the BE engineering, and with the help of all the struggles, he has cracked the IIN examination, and he completed his studies over there. And after completing, trust me, he didn't had job for 6 months. So he got about the pressure. Since he didn't get any job, he got a job later with a higher package, which is when they complete the IEM, they will be getting the better compared to the other. So he chose. So after that, he came to counseling and told me like, Kavya, I think that I have to upskill myself. I think that what I have studied is not enough. So I couldn't able to perform. When I analyzed deeper about his personality, I understood that he is not an extrovert. So he is an introvert. So how an extrovert can go for a sales, right? For salesperson, the main personality is like extrovert, where he couldn't able to initiate the conversation with the people. So he's an introvert. How he can able to do the sales? You can ask me, Kavya, sales and marketing both are same, right? No, that is not the right. Marketing is not that you will go on fields. It's not necessary. But sales, you have to go on the fields. He is not an extrovert. He is not an outgoing guy. So hence he felt that confidence was very less, and he felt that he's not perform. He couldn't able to perform because personality is not matched. So again, educating about him that has to choose the marketing jobs instead of this going on the field jobs. Then he realized, and then he said that he will change from that job to another. So like that, the gaps will be there. So just by understanding their deeper insights, we can able to guide them in a better manner. So sometimes they won't be having the skills. They will say that I'm very interested. They will say that I love music like anything. Yes, they love music. They want to be a musician, but they should have the skills, right? The skills is very much important. Yes, a few skills can be developed, but few skills should be innate. How much they could to develop. Psychometric assessment per insights, so that we could able to give the precise career guidance. So why they can choose this, why they should not choose this, if they choose this, how they can able to develop. It is not that you can't do anything. These things you can't do. So if you want to do this of this in work, then you have to develop these skills. This is how it will be helpful.
Absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree, ma'am. And thank you so much for such a balanced and insightful perspective. You have clearly highlighted how psychometric testing can guide students towards align in their fulfilling career. I hope it won't remain an often overlooked tool.
Yes. So, ma'am, you have conducted workshops
Thank you
and
so much.
you have conducted workshops and sessions in schools, colleges, and NGOs also, right? So, what are some of the most common challenges you have observed among participants, and how do you usually help them address both their emotional and these practical needs?
Yes, as you said that even though I have conducted from the schools and colleges, everything, the one thing I have noticed, I have been always noticing till now here means about one thing is the self-awareness and the self-esteem is very low. Not in the school children, they will be great. Mostly the school children, at least they will be having that confidence also. But when it comes to the college children, their confidence will be very less. So based on one or two factors, they will think that they are not good enough. And especially when I ask them to tell about themselves, self-awareness, they don't know what are their strengths, what are their limitations. So hence, since they don't know about them, and obviously they couldn't able to tell what exactly they want. Hence the self-awareness has been, you can say that's not in the up to the mark.
Was such an honest and compassionate answer and reflection you have given in like how students and young people are silently battling and how your approach bridges their emotional and practical needs. Thank you. Thank you for this answer.
Yeah. Ma'am, teenagers today are dealing with a lot emotionally. For example, peer pressure, social media, academic expectations. Could you share some simple tips or strategies for students to take care of their mental health and emotional well-being?
Definitely. See, nowadays the students has been using a lot of social media. Okay, so internet has given a lot of information as well. In the same manner, it will misguide us also. Sometimes it will overload with the information. And also they will, even I can say that they start to label themselves. They will say that whether I'm having ADHD, I'm having the depression. So being a sad is not a depression. Having a fear is are able to label themselves. So that is something where they have to avoid doing that. Educating themselves is fine, but they should not label themselves. And also when it comes to the Instagram reels or the social media, everything, it has been bombarded with so much of information, and it has been put in that manner, or it has been, what I can say, algorithm is in that manner. When we speak about that, or when we search once about that, it will be giving so much of information about the same, because their purpose is to make us be on that platform. So hence it has been, the code has been written or algorithm has been formed in that manner. So watching more and more of Instagram reels or more and more of social media, obviously it is making one person anxious without their knowledge. So better not to watch too much of the things. In a day, if they are watching 15 to 30 minutes is enough. And also it is affecting their concentration, because it is only the 30 seconds video and they are not watching that 30 seconds also fully. So I just swapping it, since if they don't like it for 10 seconds, that instant gratification has been becoming more. Means that instantly they should feel good, or else they're just swiping it out. And because of this, the person couldn't able to sit and concentrate for long. And it is affecting in many ways in regard to the brain development and concentration, everything. So limit their screen time as much as possible. Learn, don't label yourself. That is what the two things I can say, which is very crucial. If we talk about this, I can able to talk a lot, but no, not now.
Yeah. Absolutely fine. I completely agree. Whatever you have shared, ma'am. In fact, I would say that it is a kind of a treasure of many useful advices you have put very rightly here. The tips you shared were simple and I think practical and yet so impactful.
So, ma'am, you have already mentioned like how self-awareness is important for the college students, especially. But as per your experience and expertise, what does self-awareness mean to you, and how can someone start developing in their daily lifetime these self-awareness?
The self-awareness, if we say that, that is a kind of complex, but it is very simple. So it is all about understanding yourself. What your strengths, what your limitations, what are your emotions, what are your thoughts, and how you are behaving on that moment. And in general. So when we ask the college students, when I ask them about the self-awareness, they will say that academically good. I will ask them, it is like, write your 10 strengths and 10 limitations. They will talk only about their academics, but day-to-day life, they will not, couldn't able to, they can't able to think about that. They don't know about that, to be frank. So then I have to tell them, okay, so you tell me that you are a good listener. How you can say that you are a good listener? So your friends will come to you and your friends will share their any of the things, so you can able to just listen to them, or you can able to delegate the task very well, or else I can say that you can able to manage the events very well. So when I say that, then yes, you are right, I can able to do that. So then I will say that you can able to taste the food very well. You can able to identify what are the ingredients might be there in the food. Then I will say that, yes, ma'am, yeah, you are right, I can able to do that. So when we say about the day-to-day things, this will happen. So the mostly to understand about their self-awareness is to see when they do some things, if they're feeling very good, means that if they're feeling happy, that is what they like. Something which they are making very discomfort or not happy means usually they don't like. or they can say that their limitations is that, or the fear. Sometimes they will be fearful of doing something. That is called as an where we can call it as a limitations, afraid of taking the responsibility or afraid of making a new move. So like that in the day-to-day life itself. And when it comes to choosing, and many people, they don't choose their own dress, so they will go just take and they will come back. They don't know what exactly they really like at all. So I will ask them, go every day, stand in front of the mirror or check your dress whether this is good for you or not. Eat the food and see that whether you really liked it, whether you do feel like eating once again or not. Are you eating extra one chapati or extra one roti or extra one dosa, whatever it is? So it's because of the gravy, because of the dosa. So then they will get to know, means that being in the presence, sometimes without being in the presence, they will be always thinking of something else. So this will also help them to bring in the presence and understand about what they really.
Truly, what a deep and thought-provoking answer. That how mindful eating and all the things which you have mentioned. So yes, that's what that plays an important role, of course. Thank you for reminding us how powerful this inner journey can be for everyone, even.
Yeah. So, ma'am, what I have understood and analyzed that as soon as possible,
Thank you,
career
Dipti.
counseling should be starting the moment the child, in fact, comes into class 10th, because the child has to choose the subjects in 11th and 12th. And now, recently, class 12th results are out, but still, most of the parents are unaware of the importance of career counseling. And that is mainly the reason that students are still confused about which career path they should choose. So, for such students, what advice would you give them in such situation where they are still confused about their career paths?
See, 90% of the, according to the survey, 90% of the university says that if the right guidance or right careers guidance has been given in the school days itself, so the students could have done much better. So in the 12th, if the parents are still confused, so this is people who are very clear. So if they are still a career counselor, so that they can able to guide them. Why it is like, if they have chosen, that is fine. How they can be in that what is that, how we can they be able to manage that subject? So that will also helpful for them if they can able to do that. So never be late. So it is the career counseling, it is not only for the school students, even for the working professionals as well, even for the college students.
Absolutely, ma'am. I agree
Am I
with you.
audible?
I think it is the time when parents should listen to the requirement, the needs, and aspiration of their children. Because I think due to social media, students are well aware that what they want to follow as their dream, passion, whatever in future. But parents confuse them by letting them according to what they are wanting their kids to become. So I think at that point of time, career counseling will give a good
Yes.
direction to such students who feel still confused in which career path they should go towards. So, thank you so much for giving your advice and tips on this matter.
Thank you, Dipti. Thank you, Rupali. Pleasure is mine as well to be a part of this wonderful meet, and I believe that it will educate many parents and children in regard to their career choices as well.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am, once again for taking the time to share your valuable insights with us.
So, ma'am, I would like to know that the students who have just completed their 12th and they have uh, got their scores out, but still, in fact, they had chosen the subjects according to their tastes and desire in class 11th and 12th. But after 12th, the big question is now what? So, for the students who are still confused about their career, what kind of advice would you like to give them in this situation?
So many students have the only one path to reach the destination. So they will think that they want to become a computer engineer. So they will always look for the ways of doing the BE in computer science and reaching the destination. That is not the only way. So they can do the BSc in computer science, and they can go a MSc or MCA, and they can able to do that. And even the professional courses will also work. So there are options for them to reach the destination. So always take the guidance, because we know what are the ways. It is not that one way. We will at least give them 3 to 4 ways to reach the destination. If they can't able to do the choice of them, we will tell them that what are the other ways they can able to reach there as well. Don't just stuck in the way that, okay, I didn't get BE, let me take the BSc, or let me take the commerce. So it is not like that. So there are ways. Always ask the experts. They will definitely guide.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, what I have understood, as per what you are trying to say, is that it's better to start and get sorted as early as possible. So, in
Yes.
fact, social media, you have talked about social media as well. So, students are getting informed, well informed, what kind of career they want to go for. But I think it's their parents who are still living in those era where they feel that engineering, doctor, and these are the careers they should go for. So instead of pressurizing the students, it's better to get their assessment done, psychometric testing, as you mentioned, and of course, the proper career counseling with a qualified professional counselor would definitely help them to get rid of this confused situation about the career. Am I right, ma'am?
That's true.
That's
That's
true.
true.
Yeah.
Because
Thank
the
you so
career
much.
counseling is
Yeah.
career counseling is not only for the career, it is for their self-awareness. So they will get to know
Yes.
about their personality, their strengths, their limitations as well. So they can use it in their day-to-day life as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, ma'am,
Hmm.
parents are also there with the student when the career counseling and psychometric tests are done. Are the results and assessments of psychometric testing told to the parents, and they believe it? Do they
Yes.
believe it?
Yes, I will explain you how the career counseling and psychometric assessment usually will be done. So psychometric assessment usually it will be done through the online. So it will be a questionnaire. Through the questionnaire where the students will take from 45 minutes to the 3 hours. It depends on which company they are taking. Okay. So once they complete the assessment, then the report will be given. So while taking the assessment, usually we ask the parents not to be there, so that they should not tell what is that, hey, their response, what is that, what exactly to say, their opinion while taking the assessment. So we ask them to take as a separate without any pressures also, so that their child can able to do it in a very calm and composed manner. Once they complete the assessment, then we will go for the one-on-one counseling. So in that, we will be having with the parent as well. So report will be shared to the parent. First, usually we talk with the student, parents and student both for 5 minutes, and then we will understand that what the parent is expecting, and then we will have a conversation with the child. And after the conversation has been done, again we will be deciding and we will be discussing few of the things. And after that, again we call the parents during the end of the session, and we will discuss with them once again. And sometimes we may need to educate the parents as well, why they can't able, why they have to choose this instead of that. So that will be
Right.
done. And also sometimes the parents would be right, the child might be wrong. So by that moment, even the child will be educated about that. So it's a mutual. But yes, the parents' involvement is very much essential during the career counseling, because they are the deciders, right, at the end.
Right.
Absolutely
This is
agree. Yes. Thank you so much, Kavya ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking the time to share your valuable insights with us. And your answers was not just informative, but yeah, also deeply thoughtful and full of compassion. Like from explaining the importance of emotional support in the workplace and to guide the students through the maze of career choices, emotional challenges. You truly touched upon the most crucial aspects of mental well-being and personal growth, and I'm very much sure that our viewers will get a very many takeaways from this interview. And on behalf of us and our viewers, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you. Like your experience, sincerity, and warmth have left a lasting impact. And we hope many more get to be benefit from your wisdom in the future also.
pleasure is mine as well. I had a really insightful conversation with you as well. I believe that this will enlighten or give the difference in many of their lives of the students, especially the students, so that it will help them to choose the informed decisions in their career for
Of
their
course.
successful career.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Rupali.
Kavya. Thank you.